I don't know about you, but as somebody that collects retro slash vintage slash oldish tech, I have a problem with buying things or keeping things even if they're pretty useless. And then I get to thinking, especially with my limited space, maybe I shouldn't keep this thing, but I feel bad letting go of it. So I decided to take a couple useless things and give them a use by making a video with them and talking about how useless they are. So the first thing I have is this Docamo pager from Japan. I think this one came out in 1997, if I'm remembering correctly. And the thing about this is, even if I were in Japan, I couldn't use this thing because the pager services shut down forever ago. I bought this because I thought it was really interesting, the history of these things, because Docamo pocket bells, that's what they called these, Docamo pocket bells in particular, have a really interesting story. They are basically what influenced and brought about the modern Keitai, which is a Japanese cell phone. Depending on who you ask, these things had the world's first emojis, and that also depends on what you count as an emoji, but it's largely credited for having the first emoji ever. Because of the emojis in particular, these things sold like crazy. They were insanely popular, especially amongst teenagers and young people in general. So basically, until cell phones became popular and super capable, these things were kind of the go-to for communication. And they had their own like slang based on like numbers and what those numbers sounded like, how they were similar to other words. So like you could put certain numbers together that sounded like, let's see if I can remember. So aishiteru is Japanese for I love you. 1-4 ishi, I forget which one is te, ishiteru. Basically, there were numbers that you could put together that would sound kind of like aishiteru, and you would send those to say I love you to somebody, and you even had a little heart emoji that you could send along with it. So this thing does still turn on. You can see some emojis there at the bottom, like a fork and a knife for, I guess, eating, and then a heart. But there's literally, I don't think, at least I can't figure it out, how to even like mess with those emojis or attempt to send a message, because you have to have service on this thing, and then you have to have another number to send it to, and I don't think, oh my god. I don't know why I did that. I don't think you can do literally anything with this. It's very, very pointless, and I don't need it. I shouldn't have spent money on it. It wasn't like the cheapest. I don't know if maybe there's like some kind of Raspberry Pi project to be had here. I'm kind of a Raspberry Pi noob. I've barely done anything with them, but I don't know. If you can think of any uses for this, I guess tell me in the comments, but as of right now, I'm not sure of any. I can't really think of any. The next thing I have is actually kind of a recent purchase because I thought it would be something I would use way more than it turned out I would. It's called the Sony Bloggy Touch. It is a camera from 2010. I was like, oh, this thing looks so cool, and it was only like $30, I think. However, the video that this thing takes is like so supremely ugly, I simply don't want to use it. Despite going up to 1080p, it don't look good, and not in like the vintage, dreamy, aesthetic, crusty, crunchy video kind of look. No, it's just bad. We can try and take like some test video with it, yeah? I'm gonna show you like what this video looks like on the Sony Bloggy that I'm taking right now. Is there something to be said for maybe it just needs really good lighting or something like that? Maybe. I've taken video outside, I've taken video inside, you know, during the day, obviously, nothing too low light, and it still just doesn't look good. And one thing I really hate is trying to zoom in. Like, it kind of gets stuck zooming in and out, like, it just keeps getting stuck. It's really irritating. I don't know, I don't like it. It's very, very, mid. Back then, I'm pretty sure there was a Kodak competitor to this thing. Like, they were incredibly similar, but I think the Kodak one was probably a little nicer from what I can tell anyway. If I can remember what it was and find a picture of the camera, I'll put it here. And so, like, I don't know, do I try and sell it and pawn it off to somebody else that maybe would like it? Maybe there's a way to modify this and make it a better camera. I don't know. The last thing I have that is entirely useless is this LG Neon that I had back in late high school, early college, before I ever got my first smartphone. I don't have the charger for it anymore. Online, people are trying to sell them for like 20 bucks, and I'm like, for what? Because like, you can't use this in the US anymore. It's not even 3G. But this guy back in the day was like technically pretty mid. It would go on the internet kind of, but it was incredibly slow. Like I could maybe load up a website in 5 minutes or something, but it was not for browsing the web at all. It could take pictures with its 2-megapixel camera, and it could text. And I mean, I really like the keyboard. It's not T9. I don't know what you call it, but I liked it a lot. And it's like pretty clicky. I don't know if my lapel mic is picking that up, but it does not have a front camera. So I remember being back in college and flipping this around to try and take a selfie, and it would come out so blurry when the quality was already awful. But I mean, it is a really cute little phone. Like the actual design is cute. I liked the lime green color. It was really nice. And I'd like, ideally, to get a charger for it so I can see if I've got any like pictures left on here or anything. But it's completely useless, unusable. I couldn't make a call with this if I wanted to because 2G just doesn't work in the US anymore. I don't think there's a single carrier that uses 2G still. But it's so sentimental, I kind of have a hard time thinking about getting rid of it. When I found out I still had it, I was like, oh, this is my phone from back when I was young and less jaded. And so, I don't know, I probably should not keep it if it's just taking up space, and could probably like recycle it or something at an electronics recycling place. But I don't know, wouldn't it be cool if there was a way to put like some kind of like chip in here or something that would make it compatible with modern networks? I don't know, I'm not the most technologically savvy person when it comes to this kind of thing. Might be totally impossible, I don't know, but it would be really cool. I should probably get rid of these. I should probably rehome this one. But the wannabe modder in me is wanting to find some way to give these things a new purpose. Maybe I'll find a way, and I'll learn how to do some soldering and electronics work, aside from modding a Game Boy, which is super easy. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.